So today we got our very first console from DKoldies. This one means a lot to me. It's a very special console that I've been looking for at least a few years now, about 6 years. But the reason I bought it from DKoldies is because every time I go on eBay and try to get one of these, they're always up for bidding, and I always lose the bid by about $100. So I decided, I could bid up to $300-400 for this console. I'll get a broken one for like $120 and then have to fix it myself. So I decided to go to DKoldies. Now I want to show you guys this. The box is damaged. Now this is my first experience with a console from DKoldies, and yeah, I'm a little disappointed here. So we're gonna open this up, and I did take a picture of this so you can zoom in and look at the label as well, just to prove that it is from DKoldies. And yeah, this thing is, well, it's packaged good. I can tell you that much. It's packaged good. But like I said, this console means a lot to me. It's also another reason I have this console is because I've been trying to make a video for, since the beginning of this channel. I had an idea for a video. And, oh, man, I was hoping for this, like, plastic wrap, bubble wrap or something, but no. No. They gave me the peanuts. Okay. And plastic wrap. Son of a... Okay, guys, you know what? I'm going to get this out of the console safely because this is just going to make a mess. I'll be right back. Okay, now that I got the packing peanuts out of my way, as you see, this is my first impression, first time ever seeing a console. I got the little packing slip. Now, if you've ever seen some of the other ones from a year ago, you know how dirty they are inside. You saw how damaged they are. You saw how they were packed. Like I said, this is my first time ever getting one of these consoles from DKoldies. I'm excited. The last video I did of DKoldies, it was a good experience. So let's see here. Yeah, I'll take a picture of this and put it on the screen so you can see what they did to it. And it's looks like they did a lot. But anyways, you can read it right here. And let's move on, shall we? Okay, we're just gonna put this packing slip over here so I don't lose it. Okay, so we got an AV cable. I have about 3 of these in the house already because of some other stuff I've done. We're just going to throw that over there. We got a... Holy shit. Old school controller, but look how beat up that is. Look at that. Oh. That's not even right, guys. That is so disappointing because I don't even own a Super Nintendo controller. I didn't care that it was an off-brand or a third-party. But that box is not acceptable. That box is so... I'm going to take a picture of this and also post it before I even open it. Man, that kills me. That kills me. Power supply, old school power supply, 3-in-1, NES, Super NES, and Sega Genesis. That's okay. My son's Sega that I got from Al's Music. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it. It's very popular. It was a 2-in-1 adapter. Not a big deal. And if you can't tell what I would have got from the controller, it's a Super Nintendo. But it's not just any Super Nintendo, so here we go. We got a little bit of packing on the bottom, and I got the bubble wrap here. Now, if you haven't known what this kind of Super Nintendo is, this is special to me. Very special to me. I've been wanting one of these for years, because when I was a kid, my brother had one, but his was a prototype, because we used to know someone from Nintendo, and his outputs were a lot different than these ones. But I knew the outputs were going to be different, because this is the one you bought from the store. So, anyways, how does this look? Because this is supposed to be like 100% cosmetic free. It's supposed to be perfect in every way. No dust, debris, or anything. The other reason I bought this is because it's the one-chip system. I know they have the actual one-chips as well. I haven't looked at one of these in years, but I see some dents in this thing. A little bit of dents. Now, it's nothing too bad. The coloring is perfect. I'm going to cheat here for a minute. Okay, I can't see through it, but the cartridge slot looks decent. And yeah, so let's open up the controller next. This looks good. Everything looks good. Now we will be hooking this up. I will be doing a full teardown. And actually, you know what? I don't see no DKoldies sticker on this thing at all. So that's interesting, because with the videos I have seen about these guys, there's DKoldies stickers on everything, so I don't know if that's something they're doing or something they do. But it has been No, there's no DKoldies stickers. So anyways, really cool. let's open up this third-party hell. And yeah, let me take a picture of this first, and then we'll open it up, okay? Here we go. Before we open this up, I have 2 pieces of merch I want to show you. They're unlicensed, and if you want them, you can contact me on Facebook. It's a Power Ranger t-shirt on this side, and on this side you got the Megazord, and you got the tribal coin. But on this side it says DTV83 instead of Saban or Hasbro. And back here I have a cup that I've shown off in many videos. On one side is the Power Rangers, the other side has arcade and explains what DTV83 is. So if you want one of these, contact me, leave a comment here, and I'll send you over to my Facebook page and we can talk over there. So anyways, let's get into this and open up this really bad damaged box. I'm so disappointed, to the point where it's actually kind of hard to get out. So, yeah, I'm just not happy with that part. And you know what? Ooh, I don't like the top buttons on this thing. Now, I've never played with old school or anything, but this, yeah, this is something else. Something else. Let's see how it fits in the controller part. Man, that is tight. That is a tight fit. Okay, I know Super Nintendo controllers were never that tight. Okay. So, yeah, that was tight. Ooh, yeah, I don't like that. Oh man, that is like super tight. Okay, so I'm gonna hook this up now, and we're gonna see gameplay. I'm gonna actually hook on the computer and see if I can get everything hooked up so we can see it through HDMI. Yeah, let's go. So now I got this all hooked up. Top Gear's in there. It's one of my favorite games when I was a child. And let's see if it comes on. And it does. It comes on beautifully. It looks great on this TV. Unfortunately, the HDMI connector I forgot you need RGB for it. So I'll get a cheap one, and we're going to compare the 2 visuals. And I know it's going to be a cheap one, so it might look better, it might look worse. We'll see what happens. But I'm kind of curious on this controller. And so far, there you go. I'm just going to hit one player. I haven't played this in years. I used to put this in. Or just, oh, you know what? I can do automatic. Or just keep that. Now, again, I haven't played this in years. I remember what I used to do. Play game. Now, so far, this controller is not so bad. And when I get the other one hooked up, I will, oh boy. There it is. I have to remember my controls now. Yeah, I'm on the top screen, and I'm not even really paying attention, but this looks really good. I mean, it's not RGB or anything. This is just stocked as far as I know. Actually, I know it's stocked because if it was RGB, my little May flash would actually work on this thing. Yeah, I have a May flash converter for my N64, so when I play N64 streaming, you can see it through the OBS. And the May flash looks actually really good. I might do a new review on it. Will I get this console modded? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. We'll see. But yeah, this game's working just fine. One more lap. Let's get through the lap. And if I remember right, I have Nos somewhere. I just gotta get past him. Oh, there it is. Oh, I got first place. There we go. I got first place, guys. So let's move on to the next game. Now, the next game's kind of tricky because the next game is a Japanese game. And I did live stream it, but I had to use an emulator at the time. And it is Power Rangers Turbo, aka Car Rangers. I'm going to show this to you guys. Yeah, this thing is amazing. It has a Surf-for-Me Turbo. Anyways, it's going to need this converter here. And this is something I haven't really got to test out much, but it literally goes in to the Super Nintendo this way, sits there like that. You put this on here. Now, I haven't got a time to actually play this on here yet, or on any Super Nintendo, because I don't own one until now. Oh, look at that. It says Bandai. Came right on. So now I'm playing Japanese games on an American console. And this thing sounds amazing too. And again, when I get the HDMI converter, this sound will be better. But let's go with Red Ranger. Now, one of the cool things about this game is you can't die. I mean, you die, but I believe you have ultimate continues. You can go watch my live stream of it. Now, these arrows, I don't know why I'm even doing this, but these arrows make you different sections of the game. So, there it is. There's my sword. And I think, yeah, okay. It's a really cool game. I mean, it's fun. It's different. And if you haven't seen Car Ranger, you know, some of these bad guys might look funny to you. Oh, I lost my sword. There we go. And you have to find all the special weapons yourself. And all the hidden places and locations. I think you could jump on this, right? Yeah. So, it's neat. It's different. This controller's working okay. I think it's only a 2-button game, though, right? Yeah. So what game do I have that's all 6 buttons? Oh, Killer Instinct. That one's all 6 buttons. So, tell you what, I'm going to go grab that game and we're going to play some Killer Instinct real fast. So I just brought out Killer Instinct. It's one of my favorite games of all time. Let's turn this thing on and let's play, because then I can test out all the buttons. And there we go, Killer Instinct. I'm going to turn this up and see if you can hear it. But remember, when I actually get through the actual HDMI, I'm just going to have that sound coming out. So, yeah. This thing had an awesome soundtrack back in the day. And when I bought this, it had the t-shirt, the CD, and I used to be a pro at this game. I don't know about now, because I haven't played it in years. But let's see what I can do. Yeah, so far the buttons are working, no problem. I can't remember how to do combo breakers, but you know. I was hoping to be on the rooftop because I want to see if I can get the ultra mega combo or whatever the heck it was. God, I cannot remember how to do it. I think it's been about like 15 years since I've actually played this game. Here you guys go. So it does work. It's playing every game I've thrown at it so far. And yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's do one more round and see if I die. Because this is actually one of my favorite games. If you guys just want to skip ahead where I take this thing apart, I understand. And these will all be time-stamped. So it kind of seems like this controller, the L and R buttons are not always working properly. Come on. Oh, wow. Oops. Back off. There we go. Gotcha. I don't know how we're doing the fatalities, the frog or any of that. I don't remember how, but You know, maybe I'll do a gameplay through this because I remember beating all the way up to what was his name? The end guy, Sindor. This is Sindor, I think. But yeah, this soundtrack's really awesome. There we go. I'm gonna see if I can get them off the top. Come on. Okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. There we go. I know I'm gonna lose, but still. Oh. Oh, there we go. I might not have knocked him off, but he knocked me off. I love this stuff. All right, guys. So there you go. It does work. It looks fantastic, even with this composite. This is the way I remember playing these games. HDMI would be nice, RGB to HDMI, but you know, it is what it is. So let's tear this thing apart now and see what's inside, see how dirty it is like everybody else has. So let's take this apart and see what DKoldies has done to the inside. I've already taken the game out. You need the Nintendo bit. And I got this brush out of my toolkit just in case there's a little dust inside. So let's turn it over. And there's a screw here, 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 and here. Let's get going. So let's turn this bad boy over. There's the screws. There's only 3. Now, I have a feeling about this. It's not good. There was one that wasn't coming at all. And when I look inside of it, it looks like it is stuck in there. So I'm assuming, I'm going to pull this apart very carefully. But I'm assuming that... Oh boy, okay. So let's take a look. We got... They over-tightened the screw. Okay. And, okay, so let's see. So far it doesn't look too bad. It looks pretty good. So as you can see how this looks, it's kind of rusted for the age of it. So it's not a big deal. I'm going to put pictures up too so you guys can see. But this post is cracked, so we got to be careful about that. Alright, let's do this thing. I want to do this on camera because it's a DKoldies video, and I know how many people rave about how bad DKoldies is, so all you need is the right screwdriver bit. And we keep all the screws in place. Not hard to do on this one because this one is just the RF shell and the top shell. It's not like the one I did for my little sister, where it has so many god dang screws in it. No, the thing, ooh, God, I don't like that. They over tighten these screws, guys. They over tighten it. I don't like that. So let's take off. Well, let's take the whole thing out. Let's look at the whole board. Let's look underneath too. So remember, these screws are going to be different than the other ones because these ones are going to be bigger. As you can see, they're slipping. That means they really messed up the threads. They probably didn't unthread it properly, like I've told you guys in the past. You know, I'm trying to do this all on camera as I'm doing it in person. So this is unique. Take your time, be careful. At least this Super Nintendo's not like the other one. We have a ribbon cable to take out, you know. So I think that's all the screws. Let me make sure here. No, I got one down here too. That's the post. Yeah, just take your time. Make sure you get all the screws out before lifting it up. You don't want to break the shell. Well, at least I don't. Let's put it that way. I don't want to break the shell. So, yeah. And just take your time. Alright. Okay, so let's take out that very last screw that's in the back here. It's right there. Yeah. So that comes off. Why is that screw not coming out? There we go. Alright, so the bottom shell actually looks really decent. Now, I'm kind of curious for myself. Okay, that screw did fall out. Where did it go? I have no idea. Hopefully it's on my screwdriver. Nope. Okay, so overall impressions of the board. It's kind of dirty right here. It's dirty right there. I mean, I could take some sandpaper and clean it off and do all that. It doesn't look too bad. Now, if you did the Voltron mod, you put the board up here, and then the vias is down here. These things are so tiny. You know what? I probably will not mod this myself. No, maybe. I don't know. I'm just looking at it and going, wow. I'm gonna have to use like a microscope or something like my phone or something and zoom in. Like if I had it down here, I would do one of these tricks, like that, and then move the board across this way so I can see the vias like that, you know, and then move it over here to see the vias that they want us to use. That's underneath here, right here. I believe it's actually, I can't even see it here. I would have to do it all on the cam, but it's like right here, these three vias. These things are so tiny. Maybe let's zoom back out. There we go. So yeah, that's this. So since I took it apart, let's put it back together. So first things first is we grab the bottom shell. We make sure everything's lined up in here, right? Get everything back into position. Now, like I said, I've never done this before, so that is so simple. Good lordy. Okay, so these two go for the culture slot, the longer ones. And we're gonna do this correctly. We're not gonna do it DKoldies way. Okay, DKoldies way, that sucks. So if you ever heard me talk about putting screws in, you always wait for the click, and then you screw it down. If you don't hear the click, it's probably because they've been stripped out, and that's no good. And you don't have to tighten them all the way down so tight, you know, just enough to keep everything in place and tight. Anyway, when you take this apart, don't forget to know where the screws went to. There is something that's kind of concerning me. There is a cap back here that is not here. I don't know if that's necessary or not. I don't know if you can see it here. I'm gonna take a picture of it before closing it back up so you guys can see it. And yeah, it kind of bothers me. Let me turn this way. You can see it this way. So I'm gonna take that picture real fast and then we're gonna close it up. All right, so let's close up the top shell. Now again, this actually looked really good. I'm really impressed from DKoldies. Anyway, if you want to pop these off, all you gotta do is squeeze these tabs here and here. If you want to modify this, I guess you can. All you gotta do is cut those tabs out right there if you want to modify it. But yeah, let's put this together. So all you gotta do is really just, this one's really simple. Face it the correct way, first of all. This shell will just slide right on top. I mean, that's how easy this one is. It just slides right on top. Turn it over and find that screw that's broken. You know what, guys? You've seen that it's cleaned. I'm going to throw this back together and give you my final thoughts. DKoldies, well, they need a few lessons in their life, let me tell you. So, Joey, if you're listening, take the DTV83 lessons and let's roll with this. Lesson 1. How to clean your console. Well, as you've seen in other videos, they're really dusty and dirty, right? Well, mine wasn't. But it had rust on it. You guys need to take the time to get that rust off. Or at least put on a label, little rusty inside or something. I don't know. But you need to take a little more care of your metal parts on here. Because when I got this and I opened it up and I saw a little bit of rust on there, it didn't make me very happy. Luckily, it was on metal and not the actual motherboard. So take a little more time and clean a little more thorough. 2, after it gets all cleaned up and you're ready to put it back together, don't use power tools. Because when you do, you piss off DTV83 when you have a broken post on a $134 console that shouldn't be broken. And you know for a fact you guys use power tools, because if you didn't, that post wouldn't be broken, because when you tighten things down by hand, you can feel it when it's fully tight. Number 3, if you're going to store your video game consoles in boxes like this, make sure to cellophane wrap your consoles when you're done cleaning them. They will last forever without dust in them, because there's no way to get dust in it if it's shrink wrapped. That is the best way of doing it. So after you're done refurbishing it, let's go over this again. No power tools. Finish your cleaning process, put it back together, and shrink wrap it so no dust can get in it when you put them in these boxes. Okay, number 2 lesson. Number 2 big lesson here. Shipping. How can you make your shipping process better for the customer when they receive it? Get a box a little bit bigger than your consoles. Put your consoles in there. Make sure they don't jiggle. So add paper around it or something. You already put shrink wrap on it. So make sure that console's in that box that doesn't move anywhere. Put that box in another box. Grab your power supply, your AV cables, or your HDMI cables, or whatever else, and your controllers. Put them in that box. Make sure they don't move. Make sure nothing is moving in that box. Tape that box up. So after you put all your paper, your plastic, or whatever else you put it in there so nothing moves, tape it up. Tape it up good. Put your shipping label on it, but then put fragile on that label too. That way the UPS man, the FedEx, any type of shipping company takes it, they know it's fragile, and they have to make sure that box does not get damaged, because when they get damaged and it comes to the customer will be like, it said fragile, ship it back. And then you contact DKoldies, hey, my box was damaged. DKoldies are like, got it, we'll send you out a new one. That's the biggest thing, guys, is when I got that box was horrible looking. You could tell that box was been through hell and back. And it shouldn't have been. It should have looked great. It's a video game console from the 1990s. Any console from the early 70s to 2000, well, today, just even today, should be handled with care. When you get a console from the 1990s, these consoles are old, hard to find, rare. Even DKoldies themselves says some of these consoles are like 30, 40 years old, can't be saved because the parts are hard to find. So take good care of them, especially when you got a good shell like this. Now let's talk about the other half of this product. The controller, the power supply, and the AV cables. This controller sucks. I just want to throw it away, but I won't. The trigger buttons, half the time, didn't work when I was playing this console. And I thought, okay, well, maybe it's the console itself. So before I decide to ship it back with an issue, I'll plug it in my Retron. And it didn't work. These 2 buttons, half the time, didn't work. So it's this controller. So I might contact DKoldies and see if maybe they'll give me a replacement controller for this. 2, the power supply. I don't mind so much, because when a power supply dies, you're going to go buy a third-party power supply. And just because it's not OEM doesn't mean it's a bad one. My Sega Genesis that my son got for Christmas from me has a third-party power supply, because when I bought it from the second-hand shop called Al's Music that does all sorts of retro video games, the guy that does the repairs, I took it back to him because they didn't work. It started freezing. He said it was a power supply issue. He gave me a brand new power supply and it worked beautifully. Boom, done. So third-party power supplies don't bother me. The AV cables are cheap AV cables from Amazon. I had bought 3 AV cables like that for like $6 off of Amazon. And they all work perfectly fine. I did it for my N64, and I had a few other things I had to use them for. So seeing that, an off-brand controller, a third-party controller, on a classic, hard-to-find retro video game console for $134, I think the price should have been more like $120. $125 max. But I can't complain too much about the console because it looks beautiful. It plays beautiful. But the controller, the power supply. So yeah, DKoldies, take those lessons, run with them. And I hope to God the next time someone buys a console, they open it up and there's cellophane wrapping on it at least if you don't put it in a box, you know? And guys, I won't be using this third-party controller anyways. I got this 8-bit DO receiver to use with my 8-bit DO controller. So I'm not even really worried about this too much. But like I said, I might contact them. But DKoldies is doing this packing slip thing that I showed earlier in the video, telling me what's wrong with it. You guys know what was fixed on it, sorry. You know what they did to it. Will I be buying from DKoldies again? Of course. Why not? I mean, they're not a bad company. I mean, will I buy from Luki Games? I'm going to have to try that at least once, right? Because I've never bought from them. But I hear they're kind of the same thing as DKoldies. And, Starland, though, they're like top grade of everything, I guess, according to the YouTubers. But DKoldies, what I got to say is, if you're happy with what you buy from where you buy, does it really matter what a YouTuber says? Oh, they're a scam, they're this. No, it does not. And I'm going to tell you right off the back, I could sit here for days telling you everything that's wrong with DKoldies because I've watched so many damn videos. I can tell you everything that's wrong with DKoldies because in my mind there's something wrong with them. But in reality is the company that's been around for what? I think 30 or 20 years now, 20 years. And people have been buying them for years. People have been doing their own thing. So in reality is it's your choice if you think they're a scam or not. In my opinion, they're a little high priced a little bit, but I don't think they're a scam. And I think they did an excellent job on this console. And I will be buying from DKoldies again for at least video games, not consoles, because this was the only console that I needed for my secondhand consoles. And I will explain that more in a new video coming up very soon. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. And I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.